And frustration is growing among farmers in multiple European countries. Farmers across the continent are demonstrating over a series of issues. And after weeks of demonstrations, the lawmakers are struggling to settle the anger sparked by green agricultural regulations. Beginning with Poland. Demonstrations in Poland emerged after the country experienced a plunge in prices owing to Ukrainian imports. Just last month, its agriculture minister resigned from his position following the demonstrations in the country. Polish farmers since then have continued to block highways across the country. Tuesday's protests from farmers marked an escalation from previous demonstrations in Poland, with a near-total blockade of all Ukrainian border crossings and disruptions at ports and on roads. Well, farmers also sparked anger in neighboring Ukraine after blocking the border and opening a railway carriage and emptying the grain out. Czech farmers to have driven their tractors into downtown Prague, disrupting traffic outside the farm ministry. In Greece, farmers drove tractors to Parliament demanding tax-free fuel, debt forgiveness, as well as criticizing the substantial markup in shelf prices compared to what wholesalers pay them for their goods. Along with farmers, at least 8,000 beekeepers and livestock breeders too joined the protest.
We came here to send a message. Our action alone shows the intensity of the problem, and we believe, here in front of Parliament, that the government is in a position to understand what the problem is exactly. We are asking for agricultural fuel to be exempt from state taxes, and we want this immediately.
Greek Prime Minister, in a television interview on Monday, said that he could not support additional tax breaks and concessions, but wanted to continue the discussions with the demonstrators. And moving on to Spain. Hundreds of Spanish farmers drove their tractors towards Madrid city's center. Farmers say rules to protect the environment make them less competitive compared to other regions. They demanded better prices for their products.
We want fair prices. We are selling at a loss. We ask that we don't get products from outside, from third countries that don't belong to the European Economic Community and don't have the safety measure we have in Europe.
Now, during the demonstrations, a scuffle also broke out between the Spanish police and the farmers. Some farmers complained that the police were preventing tractors from entering Madrid. The government said that 500 tractors had been allowed entry, as that was the figure given by the organizers when requesting authorization for the protest, while an additional 150 vehicles were blocked from the city. In France, some 200 demonstrators entered the Lactalis head office to denounce the practices of the dairy giant and demand better pay for the farmers. And in response, French Prime Minister announced a new bill to strengthen the law on agriculture and food and improve salaries in the sector. He has also said that several million euros would be paid as emergency aid, particularly to livestock farmers.
Le premier enjeu, c'est notre souveraineté agricole.
The top priority is our agricultural sovereignty. Firstly, and in line with the commitment I made, the Agricultural Policy Bill, which the Minister will be presenting in a moment, enshrines our objective for agricultural and food sovereignty in black and white in the law and puts agriculture among the nation's fundamental interests in the same way as our national security and defense.
Demonstrations are continuing in Europe As it stands, the Green Deal legislation lacks the social dimensions which should accompany its climate focus.